Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a bronzy eye and orange lip makeup tutorial. I've been absolutely loving orange lips recently, so I'm super excited to film this video, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm starting off by priming my whole face. So I've used the Nivea Men's Post Shave Balm all over my face as a primer, and then this NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base to prime my eyelids, and then just a lip balm on my lips. So the first thing I'm going to move on to is foundation. I've recently started trying the Hourglass Vanish foundation, and I've really been enjoying this foundation. I love stick foundations in general. I think they give amazing coverage and they're just so easy to use, and this one has definitely been one of my favorite foundations I've tried. So the way I apply this is I like to swipe it towards the center of my face. The more you apply, the higher coverage with this foundation, but it's definitely better to work in layers. So the first thing I'll do is I'll put a little bit just on my cheek like that. And I'm going to be using the matching Hourglass brush for the Vanish foundation and just buff that straight into the chin, centering all the coverage towards the center of my face where I need it personally. And generally that technique is just going to give you a more natural finish. So as you can see, that gives really good coverage with just a little bit of product. You can also apply it this way by tapping onto the foundation directly with your brush and then coming in and applying it on your face with the brush. So I like doing that in these more difficult areas of your face, like your chin and your nose. So if you want a little bit more coverage, you can come back and just dot it again, add a second layer, and just blend that back into the skin. This foundation builds really nicely and could get to a pretty high coverage foundation without looking cakey. It's just really weightless and easy to wear and really beautiful. So the next thing I'm going to do, which is pretty standard for me, is I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown corrector to correct the dark circles under my eyes. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Naked Skin Concealer, and I'm going to pop this just all over my face. This in the center of my forehead. I like to conceal my eyelids a little bit around my nose and my chin. And since we're going to be using a bright lip today, I like to outline my lips as well. I'm going to use the same brush from Hourglass to blend all of that in. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of contouring and bronzing using the Smashbox Step-by-Step Contour Kit. So the first thing I'm going to use is the bronze shade, and I'm going to apply this pretty much all over the cheek area and then blend that out. This is going to add a really just bronzed, overall sun-kissed look to the face, and I also like to start off with bronzer before I come in with a contour because I think that looks a lot more natural. And I blend that all over the cheek area. Save my cheekbones though. I like to keep that area nice, light, and bright. But I just like to have it a pretty sheer wash of color. Nothing too noticeable, just a nice base for the contour. So next I'm going to come in with the contour shade in the Smashbox Contour Stick Kit. I'm just going to draw a little line just like that on my cheekbone. Now I'm going to take the BH Cosmetics 128 brush, and I like to go back and forth to get exactly how far I want it in my cheekbone, which is pretty much right under the arch of my brow. And then I'll blend it in. And the reason why I like this brush is because it really helps me stay really defined under the cheekbone and really sculpt out that area. I do come back afterward and I finish it off with my Hourglass brush because I think that's gonna finish off any blending that has, you know, the smaller brushes struggle to blend completely. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural to just set my entire foundation. And as usual, I'm going to be using my Bobbi Brown Face Blender brush to stick on the T-zone, and any extra I just brush all over my cheeks, just like that. I'm kind of feeling like pulling up the bronze factor on my face a little bit more since this is a very bronzed focused look. So I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Bronze in number 3. This is just a little mini, He's really cute and I really like him, but have been absolutely loving the color of this bronzer, and I think it's just really, it's not a matte finish, which I like. It's kind of a satin finish, so it adds a nice glow and it's a beautiful just bronzy tone. I'm going to be using that with the Real Techniques blush brush. And just working that all over the cheeks in big blending round motions. Tap some on my chin. Work on the other side. My nose, and this I'll work a little bit on my temples. And I also like to take this down my neck, so on my jawline and just down my neck like this. So the last thing on my face is I'm going to be using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Soft and Gentle. This is such an amazing oldie but a goodie product. It has a beautiful golden champagne-y tone that looks absolutely gorgeous with bronze makeup. So I'm going to take this all over the top of my cheekbones and a little bit to highlight my brow bone. And a little bit on my inner corner. So to fill my eyebrows, I'm going to be using the MAC Dirty Blonde Fluid Line Brow Gel Cream with a BH Cosmetics Angled 107 brush. I actually start out by brushing through my brows. This is just a little spoolie. And then I start on the top. And I start by adding a little bit of definition. And then I pull it down the tail and I really shape my tail. And then I start to work the definition into the bottom. And then I take my spoolie again. And I really kind of work through my brow with the spoolie because that's going to help distribute the product nicely and give it a more natural look. I think I'm looking for a little bit more color in the cheeks, so I'm going to take Bobbi Brown. This is their Shimmer Brick and Pink Quartz. So beautiful. I absolutely love this product. So I'm just going to take my Zoeva Luxe Sheer Cheek Brush, put that in there, and go onto the cheek area. So for my eyeshadow look today, I'm going to be using all of MAC shadows. So it's these 5 shadows here. And the first shade I'm starting off with is Wedge, which is a mid-tone cool brown shade. And this I'm going to be just sweeping all through my crease. The brush I'll be using with that is the BH Cosmetics 101 brush. Sweeping that through the crease. And you can just apply this in windshield wiper motions. It doesn't have to be really neat. Just pretty much a transition color for darker colors that we'll be throwing in the crease a little later. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the shade Bronze from MAC, and it's just as it sounds. It's a beautiful bronzy shade. So I'm going to be using this on a BH Cosmetics 104 brush. I'll be applying this all over the lid. Kind of staying away from the inner corner a little bit. And pulling it a little into the crease, but just barely. And then I'll come back and tap a little bit more on top in the center just to get some more pigmentation right there. Between each kind of layer of shadow, I like to come back that 101 fluffy blending brush from BH Cosmetics or any fluffing blending brush and just make sure that's all blended. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Sigma E25 brush and this shade from MAC, which is Espresso. And this is a darker, still cool tone brown that I'm going to use in the outer corner, outer crease area. So I'm just going to tap this in the deep outer crease and blend it a little bit towards the middle of my crease, but keeping it pretty deep in the crease. I think this shade adds so much depth to this look that you wouldn't get with just throwing bronze all over your lid. I think it just adds a lot more drama. I'm going to come back in with that BH Cosmetics 104 brush that I used to apply bronze and just use it to blend out that dark color we just put in the crease. Now I'm going to take this fluffy blending brush again and pop it back into that first shade we used, this one, which is Wedge. And just top that over to make sure that everything is just a beautiful gradient and there's no harsh lines. Now for the fun part, I'm going to take bronze again on this pencil brush from Sigma. This is an E30. I'm going to pop this under my lash line. I'm going to pull all the excess of that off on my wrist, and then I'm going to come back in to Wedge, that really light brown shade that we used first, and use that to help really blend out the bronze on my lower lash line. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Rimmel Scandalized liner in the color black, and I'm just going to tight line with that. And the last thing I'm going to do on the eyeshadows, I'm going to take Carbon from MAC, which is just a matte black, and I'm going to take that again on a pencil brush and just smudge that into the lash line. This is totally optional, but it really gives a smoky look. So that's how I use the matte black. On to the other eye. I just like to keep it really light, which is why I'm using this natural haired pencil brush. So now to finish up the eyes completely, I'm going to be using the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Mascara. This is one of my all-time favorite volumizing mascaras. It's so beautiful. So now with the eyes done, the last thing we can do is finish up with the lips. So since this whole look is centered around an orange lip, I have two options. I have the Matte Tilt lipstick from Urban Decay, which is this very, very orange color. So beautiful. And I also have this shade from NARS, which is Red Square. Also a beautiful orange shade. So since I have already written a blog post on this color, which I can link also down in the description box, it's been just summer red staple, red orange lip staple for me, so absolutely beautiful. I'm going to use this one to mix it up. So a little trick about using a bright lipstick like this, especially if you don't have a matching lip liner, is you want to line your lips with a brush first. So you're just going to coat your lip brush in the lipstick, and you're just going to line your lips. And now that your lips are lined, you can just fill in the rest with the bullet. Alright, so that's the finished makeup look. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, it'd be awesome if you gave me a thumbs up. I can also throw some links to some drugstore alternatives for the eyes, lips, and cheeks for this makeup look in the description box down below. If you like this video and you want to see some more videos from me, you can definitely subscribe to my channel, or you can check out my blog, allagrey.com, and I can throw that link right up here for you. But thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!